As Kenyans will remember, KANU's leadership has decided that the party will back Uhuru Kenyatta's presidential bid while fielding its own candidates in the forthcoming August elections. A few weeks ago, Salat, KANU's Secretary General, hinted that KANU would join the newly formed National Super Alliance that is expected to win the August elections. While KANU's sudden about-turn may have surprised many Kenyans, the following are 10 reasons why KANU's leadership decided to support Uhuru Kenyatta's attempt to clinch a second term. One, when Mama Ngina surfaced at the residence of former dictator Daniel Arap Moi to plead with the former despot to prevail upon Gideon, his son, to support Ngina's Kamwana in the 2017 elections, it was the ultimate signal that things were really bad. This is because if Jubilee loses the election, the Kenyatta family will probably be the biggest loser in terms of billions of stolen Kenyan shillings from the Kenyan public and the thousands of acres of grabbed public land since 1963. Ngina convinced Moi to prevail upon his son for KANU to join Jubilee in order to save stolen wealth by the Kenyatta family from being threatened in the event of a NASA takeover. 2. The prospect of Jubilee losing to NASA with Raila Odinga as president of the Republic of Kenya is the ultimate nightmarish scenario Mama Ngina has ever dreamt about, and for this reason her visit to Moi was not an ordinary visit, but a desperate campaign activity. On the other hand, Moi has never forgiven Raila Odinga for wrecking KANU in 2002, causing the party to lose elections. Moi knows that denying KANU's entry into NASA works to the disadvantage of Raila Odinga, who is widely believed to be NASA's presidential candidate in waiting. Additionally, Moi prevailed upon his son to support Jubilee because after robbing Kenyans for 24 years when he was in power, Moi and Ngina shared the same fears should NASA come to power. In fact, both Moi and Mama Ngina have the same fear for Raila Odinga, and by allowing KANU to join Jubilee, both Moi and Ngina are uniting to help in the fight against NASA and Raila Odinga, a fight which is also being waged by the Mount Kenya Mafia cartel. 3. William Ruto is the deputy president with unrealistic dreams of becoming president in 2022. Moi hates Ruto like leprosy because although he views Ruto as his political child, Ruto abandoned the former dictator and KANU to join Raila's ODM ahead of the 2007 elections at the party's most desperate hour of need, and Moi has never forgiven Ruto for this. He has been seeking for an opportunity to punish Ruto to no avail, to add salt to injury. Since he quit KANU, Ruto has been undermining Moi, abusing Gideon Moi and other Rift Valley leaders who do not support him, and dismissing KANU as a useless party that has no direction and no leadership. In allowing KANU to support Jubilee, part of Moi's deal with both Ngina and Uhuru Kenyatta is that William Ruto will not be part of any political future of the new union. KANU joined Jubilee to enable Moi to fulfill a death wish of giving Ruto the kind of punishment Arap Mashamba will never forget throughout his life. 4. Since KANU became irrelevant in Kenyan politics after the 2007 elections, the party has never been presented with the opportunity to reinvent itself. There is no perfect opportunity of doing so than positioning itself as a key player in Kenyan politics, and at a time when a general election is looming. The wider strategy is for KANU to gain seats at all levels so as to increase KANU's bargaining political power. KANU therefore accepted to join Jubilee as a way of emerging from political oblivion to play a role in Kenyan politics now and in the future. 5. The Kalenjin nation voted for Jubilee in 2013 to save their son William Ruto from the ICC. Ruto, in turn, converted the support into an opportunity to take over and claim ultimate Kalenjin leadership. This did not go down well with Moi, who has been grooming his son Gideon to take over Kalenjin leadership. By allowing KANU to join Jubilee, Moi is actually killing 3 birds with 1 stone. He is killing William Ruto's political future, reinventing KANU to play a political role in Rift Valley, while at the same time positioning his son to replace Ruto through a takeover of Kalenjin voting bloc Ruto has been dangling. 6. After Mama Ngina visited Moi, Kenyans will remember that Uhuru Kenyatta also did the same a week later. After Uhuru's visit, KANU announced that it would support Uhuru Kenyatta's presidential bid but field its own candidates. Were the meetings a coincidence? The answer is no. As a condition for KANU's support for Jubilee, both Moi and Ngina sealed a secret deal that in 2022, Jubilee would support Gideon Moi as presidential candidate. When Uhuru visited the Mzee ahead of KANU's announcement that the party would support Jubilee, it was because Moi wanted to hear it from Uhuru Kenyatta's mouth that Jubilee would support Gideon for president and not Ruto in 2022. Once Moi confirmed that the son of Jomo had understood and accepted the deal reached by the two parents, Gideon made the announcement. In short, KANU's support for Jubilee sealed Ruto's fate by effectively converting the DP's 2022 presidential ambitions with Jubilee support into a pipe dream. 7. Within the Mount Kenya mafia cartel that runs Jubilee, William Ruto has become unsellable to the Kenyan public because of multiple corruption scandals, land grabbing scandals, donation of stolen money to the church, politics of Matusi, evidence of both sexual promiscuity and adultery, and accusations of neglect of an out-of-wedlock child. In fact, Ruto is more of a serious liability to Jubilee than an asset, and for the cartel, Ruto's replacement was long overdue. The mafia considers Gideon a better replacement of Ruto, and once the Gideon deal was struck, the cartel simply retreated to celebrate. So far, and despite the serious political consequences, there has been no opposition or criticism to the entry of Gideon into the Jubilee tent, a sign that the move is a well-thought-out mafia strategy. That is why Ruto is done. 8. For the last 2 years, the Mount Kenya mafia that rigged Jubilee to power in 2013 has been extremely uneasy that as a result of William Ruto's activities, Jubilee has been losing the Rift Valley vote. Although the real explanation behind the change of support in Rift Valley is linked to the short-changing of the Kalenjin by the mafia on a 50-50 power-sharing deal agreed ahead of the 2013 elections, the mafia has been blaming Jubilee's diminishing support in Rift Valley on Ruto's arrogance, miscalculations, and poor leadership. The cartel is facing an election, and to try and win back the Kalenjin, the cartel does not believe that Ruto is the right person to work with. the cartel is convinced that it is time to change faces. With KANU's support of Jubilee, the cartel can only hope that the new relationship will turn into votes, which could increase Jubilee's support to a level where the cartel can be able to rig elections. 9. For KANU, joining Jubilee also comes with rewards. Apart from the main prize that will see Gideon replace Ruto as the main presidential candidate in 2022, become political point man in Rift Valley, and resurrect KANU from the grave, KANU was promised at least 5 slots in the cabinet and a number of other top slots in government and parastatals. If the deal works, it will represent the biggest political gain by KANU since 2002, when the party was thrown out of power by the Kibaki-led NARC government after Raila said Kibaki tosha. 10. Raila Odinga has said that if NASA seizes power, the new government will implement the TJRC report in its entirety. What this means is that the Kenyatta family, the Moi family, and the Kibaki family will be the biggest losers, especially when it comes to huge tracts of land and stolen wealth in their possession. Most importantly, members of the Mount Kenya Mafia cartel shudder at the prospect of a Raila presidency. This cartel has stolen so much wealth that its members believe that if one of them is not in power, their fortunes and personal liberties will be at stake. Both the State House families and the cartel are convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that if they want to safeguard their future, William Ruto is not the right person to deal with because he cannot deliver. KANU joined Jubilee as a last-minute strategy to try and save the State House families and to protect the mafia cartels and their stolen wealth. It must be emphasized that despite the deal, much awaits to be seen because, according to political tides, NASA will seize power with Raila Odinga as president of the republic. KANU will only be able to reinvent itself if Jubilee wins the election. This is a tall order because the tides are heavily tilted against Jubilee. The situation is complicated by the rise of Mashinani party that will no doubt gain seats in the Rift Valley. What this means is that votes in Rift Valley will be divided between NASA, Mashinani, KANU, and Jubilee supporters still allied to Ruto. In our view, the political odds are so much against Jubilee such that the union between KANU and Jubilee will be of little help in preventing Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee from losing elections to NASA. This is how we see it. Thanks for watching.